And in all these yogic concentration things, I kept getting distracted. I realized I couldn't do them, and had difficulty with doing all of them. I've had some experiences, true, but it became very clear to me that I was having a difficulty in doing any of those traditional practices. And at some point, I became aware that not only I was bad at them, I really didn't like them. It's like I wanted to find the truth. I didn't want somebody to tell me, go do this, and you're going to find such truth. Who said that that's the truth? Right? You know, meditation, you get to be enlightened. You pray to get closer to God. I wasn't still convinced about those things, whether that's what I wanted, or whether there was such a thing like that. But I also realized that I had some kind of resistance, some kind of reluctance to do all these practices, partly because I didn't know exactly what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for anything specific. It was like a vague feeling. But at the same time, I realized all these things were things imposed, things I have to impose on me. It's not something I will do every day. It's not an everyday natural thing that you do. To actually sit with straight back for a whole hour not moving and visualize your perineum is a very unnatural thing. And something about that sort of didn't click with me. I wasn't, I've never been the esoterically oriented kind of person. I'm not really interested in the esoteric and the unusual and the strange and all of that. So I wasn't turned on by those. So partly they were difficult for me, but partly they felt artificial. Like it is something extra to what naturally happens to a human being. It's true, sometimes these things occur naturally. Once in a while I'm in a quiet place, I'm still. Sometimes I'm prayerful place, things like that. But to actually do these in some kind of a regular practice, at that time, I'm not knocking these things. I'm just saying, for me personally, at that time, it felt too artificial. And I realized I couldn't do them because I didn't want to do anything extra to just living a normal life and finding out what reality is. And then, as I was becoming aware of that, I noticed like there are certain times that things opened up, and I began to experience things much deeper, clearer, more open way than was my normal experience. And usually they did not happen when I was meditating. When I was meditating, I'm too busy with my back pain, my knee pain, I remember, and they said if you stay in a retreat, a long enough retreat, you'll go beyond it. I tried that. I went beyond it only the last day, I remember. So by the last day, it became clearer. But, I'm not knocking them. I'll come back to them. It took a long time before I recognized at some point the logic behind these things and how they work. But at that time, I didn't see the logic. And since I was already somehow unconsciously motivated by the desire to know things in an objective sense, not in a natural sense, I had a natural reluctance to do something that appeared to me to be artificial. But I noticed at a certain time when things opened up. And one of those times that it kept happening every once in a while is that I noticed that I was really interested, I was earnest, and in terms of practices, in terms of wanting to study myself, study reality. But the only time that thing opened up had to do with a particular condition that I found myself in, that at the beginning I didn't know how it happened, which is at some point it's like pushing and pushing and pushing and feeling frustrated, nothing is happening, and not getting through, I'm not finding out anything. At some point I realized I give up, like giving up, I feel helpless, can't do it, I don't know how to do it, I don't know what the hell is supposed to happen, right? It's like some kind of a helplessness and a giving up and recognition. Not only I don't know what to do, I don't really know which direction to go, I don't really know what's supposed to happen. In reality, I didn't know what's supposed to happen. There are all kinds of people who said all kinds of things about what's supposed to happen. I didn't know. There were many of them, and I didn't know if they were supposed to happen at some point. Who said it was supposed to happen now? And I realized that was quite an arrogance to believe I know what's supposed to happen. That for me to say, let me do this so I can get to this state, means that I believe I know what I should be experiencing in the next hour or so. And I realized, I don't know. I didn't know it was good, so how will I know what's supposed to happen? And it is those times that it seemed that something happened, something opened up. Things opened up, and usually what happened is I recognize what's the truth of the moment, what was happening. Could be anything simple or deep, didn't matter. But it's more like when I gave up, I felt my helplessness, I recognized I didn't really know what to do or where to go, and accepted that. Things opened up, and I began to see some kind of truth about myself or about the environment or the reality that I am in. And that then gave me some indication, connected me with my original sort of unconscious or semi-conscious desire to find out what is the truth in its own. What is the truth of reality? And I saw that at those times, really what brought about that condition was particularly the heart involvement, the heartfelt attitude of really wanting to see, to recognize, to find out what the truth is. And I wanted to find it out because that is really what I wanted. And it was a very intimate, personal thing that I, myself, wanted to know the truth at this moment, not because anybody said this is the right thing. It wasn't because it was going to be enlightenment. It wasn't because I was getting close to God. It wasn't accomplishing anything. It was just the truth. What is the truth of this moment? See? And I saw that when, from my heart, I really felt that that's what I really want. I recognized that's what I really want. And I didn't want it to get someplace, to accomplish something, to get enlightened. I was just wanting that truth without knowing. I didn't even know what it is. I wanted to see what is my condition, what is the truth of my condition right now. And I felt very strongly about it, that I really wanted that, desired that strongly, passionately. When I felt that, in the midst of recognizing I didn't know what the truth is, what is supposed to be, that the truth manifested itself.